And joining me now is David Hawkins. He's the editor of The Fulcrum here in Washington. He breaks down some of the big stories that are going on in the nation's capital. And this week, unfortunately, we saw some mass shootings over the weekend. It's a tragedy that we've seen play out a couple times. Congress, interestingly enough, is away for a while. They're on their August recess. Democrats have called on Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, to summon everyone back to Washington to kind of deal with this. Is that likely going to happen, David?
It's highly unlikely that it's going to happen. It's an easy thing for the Democrats to call for, in part because I think they know that Mr. McConnell is not going to do this. It would be one thing if there was a bipartisan consensus to do something with gun control, but there isn't. Almost all Democrats are for it, but under the rules of the Senate, it would take 60 votes. That means a bunch of Republicans, 13 Republicans would have to go along. There aren't those votes around, so unlikely Congress would come back. Sometimes they stay into the summer if there is a pending deal or a big deadline that they have to meet before they feel like they can, quote, take a vacation, which is a little bit of a misnomer to begin with. They do a lot of work during August, but actually coming back short of going to war or something that would have enormous bipartisan support, unlikely to happen.
Yeah, there's a big difference between postponing and then actually physically coming back.
That's right. I mean,
and especially when gun control has been one of the most partisan issues in Washington.
Right. This is not something that, amazingly to some observers, that back-to-back shootings within 13 hours of one another would not be the kind of thing that would galvanize the country, but doesn't seem like it at this point.
And on top of all of this, the Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, who would be the one responsible for bringing everybody back, he had some health issues over the weekend.
Well, he broke his shoulder. He went back to Kentucky to begin the recess, and he apparently tripped on his patio and broke his shoulder. So while he can work from home and he can make telephone calls with his good arm, probably doesn't want to be coming back to Washington. It's a strange turn of events. We actually had another Senate Majority Leader, Democrat Harry Reid, a few years ago, also during a recess had an even more significant injury. So sometimes this is just a signal that they need to take some time and get well.
Yeah, and his office has said he's doing okay. He's at home recovering, and they expect him to make a full recovery.
They do.
All right, David, thank you so much. For more stories like these, you can check out The Fulcrum at thefulcrum.us.